the brain gets a signal, activate all the resources. When you think about it, why so many people choose to bite their nails when they're stressed? If you're like super cheerful and somebody, says something to you, you're like, ha, right? People don't court us deliberately. Trust me, we probably court some people and we don't even know it. You can sense your body is vibrational. Don't just listen to me. Do these exercises. Chemistry in your body changes. More your neurons are connecting and actually saying, oh, this is how it feels. King Kong taps. I couldn't understand why my brain became extremely foggy, my eyesight blurred, and imagine it shooting out of your two fingers. And what you do, you draw a Fibonacci sequence in front of you, and suddenly that person who was giving you creeps is your best friend again. Zip, throw away the key. Imagine you have this belly button here. You hook a finger there or two and lift. I also wanted to give you the science perspective because I always dig a little bit deeper to understand why actually this energy hacks work. It breaks your heart as a parent and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to take their pain away. Well, the sense of fear, the expression of fear on our face, in our body language, it actually stimulates the negative response. Very last, because this one for me is magic. Hi, today let's talk energy. There are 15 energy hacks I want to share with you today, which are absolutely fantastic to change your life to the better. And when we talk energy, so many people are skeptical because energy is something we cannot see. But if we try really hard to look internally, we can really sense it and we can feel it. Unfortunately, like with everything else, it takes practice to really feel energy. But if you can't feel it or you cannot see it right away, it doesn't mean it's not there. It's still working its magic. It might take a little bit of time for us to get used to looking inside, looking internally. And this is not something we normally do. So, of course, our neural connections in our brain are not wired to look inside and actually to feel those energy feelings inside. But when you do it regularly, when you practice energy exercises, meditation, yoga, qigong, your body becomes absolutely sensitive to the energies. And when that happens, you realize that there is a proof. Energy hacks are very simple. Anybody can do it. When I started my journey through yoga initially, then I got really deep into meditation. It triggered something in my body and opened my sensitivity to energy and vibrational frequencies. And suddenly I found myself being extremely overwhelmed how everything around us vibrates. Light, words, thoughts, emotions, people you meet, music you hear, all kind of frequencies, and an untrained body which suddenly becomes so perceptive of this energetic frequencies, it could feel overwhelming. So very soon I realized, well, I have to master working with my energy. Now actually I can feel how they change your internal chemistry, how they change not only vibrational frequencies, but the physical markers in your body too. And this is what I want to share with you. They're quick, they're easy, there is no excuses. You can totally master them. Well, I've written them, so I don't forget the most important ones. And I was really trying to put them in some kind of order, kind of grade them, so to say, but it was impossible to do. They're all so fantastic. And for some people, some energy hacks could work better than the others, or it could depend on the situation you're in and what you most need help with right now. So let's start. And you can pick and choose which one you really, really like, or maybe a couple or a few of them. I want to start straight away with a fantastic one. And this one actually is one of my videos which got a lot of reviews and people thank me for it. So I want to share it one more time. Very simple hack to activate your brain. When you think about it, why so many people choose to bite their nails when they're stressed? It happens because it's our neurosystem response to stress. And what it does, it almost has this subconscious wiring to bite under your nail to activate your brain passages so you can deal with the situation, so you can respond to stress. I have to tell you from experience, what I've heard from my mom, how this simple hack really truly helped her to deal with a mini stroke, which she got once in a very hot summer month. She came home and she felt really sick. She was nauseated. Her brain was very foggy, and she realized that it might be it. And later on, when she went to see the doctor said, yes, she has a little bit of a dark spot in her brain. So it was a tiny mini stroke. But I think thankfully, because she used this energy exercise, this hack, she managed to activate her brain enough for it not to become something more serious. So thanks God, she knew this trick, and I want to share it with you. So, it's a great one, really, really great one. I really wish for nobody to ever be in need to use this hack, but if you or somebody you know and love is faced with the unfortunate situation of a stroke, it's better to know this information than not. So I'm totally sharing this. Press hard under your nails. So hard. It has to hurt. It's supposed to hurt. And if you do that, what happens? The brain gets a signal that something hurts and you're in danger. And actually, under the nails, when you think, our skin is extremely thin, and it's one of the most vulnerable places in our body. Torture somebody, they would stick needles under the nails. I know it's gross, but that's the reason for it. It's very vulnerable and very sensitive place of our body. And when the brain gets a signal that something is happening with this place under your nail, it's a very strong energetic channel. It's actually meridians, or you can call them chakras, under your nail and around your nail cuticle. Very strong energy channel. So when you press under your nail very hard, so what happens in your physical body? The brain gets a signal, danger, 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 and it begins to activate its stress responses, cure your body to deal with the situation. And of course, if your brain is affected by a stroke, it activates its resources to make sure that the damage is as little as possible. And guess what? You don't only have to use this hack when you're faced with the unfortunate event of a stroke, or somebody you know is faced with the unfortunate event of a stroke. You can use this hack to activate your brain passages in everyday life. So imagine you're going into a very stressful meeting and you want to be on the most alertness. Do this. Press hard under your nail. The brain gets a signal. Activate all the resources. Let's move to the next. When you feel that you are affected by negative energies, all kind of negative energies, it can manifest itself by you feeling extremely low, when you feel sad, when you feel like your energy is completely depleted, when you met somebody and you are coming home and you feel something is wrong, something is not quite there, when you wake up in the morning and you feel sluggish and you don't feel that you have just enough energy to begin your day in a way you want to, the best energy hack to do that, quick and simple, shake. Because shaking literally activates our bodily function to release the energetic frequencies which don't serve you, but also it awakes all the organs in your body. So it almost like clears the fog inside your body, inside your brain, inside your internal organs. It's extremely therapeutic. It also starts your lymphatic system to pump the lymph faster and better, and any toxins, anything in your body which is not good for you right now, it actually starts to eliminate it. So you shake, your body has to be completely loose, shoulders very relaxed, head and neck looking up straight like somebody is pulling you from the top, and you bounce on your heels and you bang your heels on the floor. You actually bang them. You need to feel the vibration of it, because that vibration travels through your body, and this what allows the lymph to move, and this what allows the energy to start moving, start eliminating. So you shake and you start breathing really deeply. In, out, in, out. Ideally with the sound ha. This is a very therapeutic sound. Our body knows that sound. It's the sound of release. It looks exactly like this. And do it for a minute or two. And if you close your eyes, even if you're not super sensitive to energies, and if you just close your eyes for a minute and you just try to look inside, you can sense this really strong vibrational frequency traveling through your body from your arms, because these are the entering chakras. You can sense your body is vibrational. It's actually very vibrational. And I always notice when I tell people to do this kind of exercises, they suddenly start smiling. You know, it's almost this better energy is entering your body, while the energy which was holding you back is getting released. This is a fantastic one. Do it every day, and you will feel how your day goes smoother when you shake in the morning. Ask your children to do it. You know, when you feel the child is frustrated and, you know, they want to scream or run or fight or flight, what you do, ask them to shake. Just teach them and say, you know what, shake your body, put some music on, and you will see how your child's attitude changes in a minute. It's that great. And now we will move to the next one. On the other hand, when you really need to calm down, this simple energy hack is to roll your eyes up. And this is what hypnotherapists do. They ask their patients to roll their eyes up like this. Look up, look up, look up, and slightly blink. Look up, look up, look up. Stretch your eyes and notice. Eyes are connected to the brain. They give a signal to our brain. Calm down. This movement looking up makes your brain to go into subconscious wiring rather than consciously being alert about everything what's going on around you. This is why hypnotherapists, they use it for a while, and then person is dealing with their situations from the subconscious mind, and that's why hypnotherapy really works. The same with meditation. When you want to change your state, change your attitude, when you want to manifest, when you want to become a bit more creative, entering alpha state of mind, could be done through this kind of eye movement, and the energy of the body changes completely. The wave of calm travels from your head down to the body and almost feels, if you would stand barefoot on the ground, you would feel how your energy is grounding when you bring your eyes to the normal level after that exercise. You know what? Don't just listen to me. Do these exercises. And please comment below how they make you feel. We are moving to the next energy exercise. When you feel angry, do you ever? You know what? in our modern life, we are training our brain to react. We react to everything. Everything bothers us. Somebody cut us off. Oh my God, we want to, cut their head off. Somebody is, looked at us in a funny way, and this anger is rising in your body and bubbling up. I was like this once. No more. No, not at all. Nothing bothers me anymore. And one of the great releases of anger, because anger is very strong energy, and it's energy you don't want in your body because nothing else exists when you're angry. You just want that energy to come out, and energy cannot just disappear. Energy, first law of physics, energy cannot disappear, it can only transform. And what it means for us, if we have that strong energy of anger somewhere in our body, tightening our chest, and we don't find a healthy release to that anger, trust me, you're going to pass it to somebody else. 100%. Have you ever noticed if somebody, after having an argument, coming and talking to you, and you can feel that anything you say will be used against you? Well, because the anger energy needs to come out. So it's much more healthier and therapeutic to release it in a very healthy manner. And I will teach you one simple hack which you can do in any situation. Probably step away from the situation and do it, because it looks weird. Yes, it does. But it is so effective. It just you want to do it in your own space, and you definitely want to do it so the energy out of your body comes out, and you're not going to be living your day passing it to other people, because trust me, what comes out comes back again. So standing straight posture is very important. Any energy exercise, I want you to stand straight, because the energy actually enters from the top of our head, but not exactly the top, kind of in the front here, where your hair turns in a circle, that temple place. This is your energy point, entering from above and through our feet and entering from below. So standing straight, it allows the channels of your body, energetic channels, to be wide open for energy to come in or come out. So stand straight, shoulders relaxed, hands loose. I would say your feet are shoulder apart, just to be steady. And you do a very deep breath in through your nose, and then you release it with the sound ha, and a lion breath. You can use the arms if you want to. Just think it's fun. Do it for a minute. Visualize yourself as a lion. Do that lion roar with your breath. You don't need to scream if you don't want to. And oh my God, after 1 minute of that lion breath, what happens to your body? The release of anger comes out literally with that breath from your mouth. Your whole body gets a confirmation that that feeling is subsiding. Your chemistry in your body changes from high level of adrenaline, which makes us very aggressive, right? That level of adrenaline, fight or flight kind of mode, it starts subsiding. And guess what? Suddenly, after 1 or 2 minutes of this lion breath, you don't know why you were angry that much. That's the power of thinking straight, right? Please remember this one. Next time when you're angry, just step aside from the situation, go in a bathroom or in another room, or maybe just turn around and go, that could work too. Next one. Have you ever felt when you meet a person, or you know a person, and when you think about them, very uneasy feelings stir up inside your body? Have you ever had that? Well, the reason for that might be because they have a cord attached, energetical cord attached to you, and they kind of drain your energy. If you find yourself in a situation when you can't stop thinking about an unfortunate event, or about maybe an angry conversation, sometimes when you're trying to fall asleep and you think about your boss and you're like, You can't get that sense of ease to even fall asleep. Probably you have an energetic cord with that person, and this one is very powerful. You need to release that cord. You need to literally physically release that energetic cord. And don't worry, if it's a good kind of cord, because there could be different cords. There could be cords which are very healthy and they are absolutely needed, like for example the cords our children have with us and we have with them or with our parents. An energetic cord with your friend. Have you ever noticed you think about your friend and she calls you, and that's why, because you're connected on some deep level. Notice when you do this, how suddenly, let's say, that negative feeling about the person is just not there anymore. So let's do the practice, right? If you're not very sensitive to energy, I invite you to try and see if any feeling emerges. Just take your arms and just literally scan your body with your arms while you're thinking about that person or that negative situation which kind of cords you. And usually you'll get a certain physical sensation in your arms. It could be a bit of warmth, it could be sudden cold around a certain body part. It's usually around the center. It could be the head, it could be the throat, it could be heart chakra. Majority of the cords, they're either heart, solar plexus, or our tummy. Those survival cords of children, they're all connected right here, right? And you can kind of feel where that cord is. I usually go deeper and try to explain to myself why that cord is there. And what I found out that sometimes, for example, if somebody really hurt my feelings or made me feel small, the cord usually would be here, because this solar plexus chakra, just in the pit of our ribs, is actually a chakra of self-confidence, self-acceptance, and self-knowledge. So if somebody kind of cords you there, and let's say that's the situation, and you're kind of moving with your arms, what you would feel is in the pit of your rib a different sensation. Maybe it starts like a pinning sensation, or maybe you feel cold around this area. Just suddenly your hands feel like a cold hush of air on them. Or the opposite, sometimes around heart chakra, it could feel actually really hot, like suddenly, there's certain heat and, not in a good way, not in a warm way, but actually in a kind of angry, frustrated type of heat way. And once you find it, imagine that there is a cord plugged in, let's say, for example, in your solar plexus, and you feel that it's there. And what you want to do is to remove it, but very slowly. Imagine those electric plugs to charge an electric car. How you remove them? You have to remove them a little bit slowly, like to unplug them, right? You don't just yank them. So the same way, imagine that cord is here and you are removing it and you're letting it go with thanks and love. We don't judge. People don't cord us deliberately. Trust me, we probably cord some people and we don't even know it. So we don't want to wish any negativity, because everything comes back what you portray. So you try to release it with feeling of love and appreciation for the lesson, but with a very distinct feeling of thank you, but this chord is not for me right now. Just, let it be out there, returned. And you will feel so much better right away. Like when you can't stop thinking about an unfortunate situation, then you remove the cord, suddenly you just find yourself not bothered by it or not even thinking about it. If when you try to detect the energy of the cord, you don't feel anything, it doesn't mean it's not there. It might take a little bit of longer for you to start actually sensing energy a little bit more. And neurons in your brain, they have to wire to do that, because if you don't normally do it, they don't know what they're looking for. But more and more practice you do, more and more energy you sense in your body around you, more your neurons are connecting and actually saying, oh, this is how it feels. Oh, I will wire that connection so I know next time when I feel it with anything, with any habit. This is what happens in our brain with our neurons. The same with the sensing of energy. That's the same with the feeling of energy. And if you practice energy exercises, you start feeling it more and more and more until it almost becomes like a strong physical sensation rather than just, something you can't see, you can't feel. You just kind of have to go with your belief. You can actually sense it big time. All right. Next, if you feel sad or if you have that strong feeling of you don't trust in a way your life is unfolding, and we often do. Actually, what makes us most unhappy when something doesn't go our way. But our way is not always the best way. Unfortunately, we learn it much, much later in life. And when something you are faced which you don't expect or don't want it to happen in that way, we feel very sad. We could be disappointed. We could almost feel like we are losing trust in this life, in people, in this world. If you ever feel like this, the best energy hack I can give you, every morning you wake up, tap on your chest. This part of your chest, just kind of a little bit lower from your collarbone, about this much. This is the point, your heart chakra, and this is the point of trust, love, acceptance, and believe it or not, you know, compassion and happiness, because actually a lot of happiness happens with a feeling of compassion. We can talk about it in some other videos, but if you feel unsatisfied, if you feel sad, if you feel disappointed, if you feel that something is wrong in your life, that sense of, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing, just start massaging this chakra and start doing King Kong taps. The King Kong. Up, inhale, down, up and down. But exhale, up and down. Do it for a minute or two or three. Oh my God, I've done it. And the vibration is extremely strong, even from that little, or then it's like little. And, what it does, it opens this chakra, it balances it, it sends a signal in your body on a physical level to trust, to let go. It develops good chemicals in your body like dopamine and serotonin, the happy chemicals. Just doing that for a minute or two physically changes your chemistry to feel much better. And energetically, it opens this chakra to be receptive of love, trust, compassion. It's opening your heart. And trust me, when the heart is open altogether, overall, you feel much, much happier. I think if everybody would do this exercise in the morning, we would have a beautiful world to live in. So, yeah, please do. Next, let's talk about protection. When I started feel the energetic frequency a lot, I had the situation when I was in a courthouse, and I think a lot of stories, human stories, happen there, and without even thinking, my body sensed really strong energies of sadness and grief and worry and all kinds of things. And I didn't even think about it. I just entered the building and suddenly I felt extremely sick. Literally, I felt nauseated and I wanted to vomit right in the middle of that building. And I couldn't understand why. My brain became extremely foggy, my eyesight blurred, and everything just felt like it's getting strong vibration, but the vibration which made me not think straight, not feel right. As soon as I came out of the building, I felt absolutely fine. And I was like, wow, okay, what was that? As soon as I came back inside the building, the sensation repeated itself. I felt sick again. And this is when I realized that, when you open your channel, when you let the energy be your guide, when you start sensing it, and when your brain knows how to sense it, it becomes a very strong sensation sometimes, and not always a pleasant one. I decided right there and then that I need to find out various energy exercises, and I spoke to a few energy practitioners, and I watched a lot of videos. And one of the best hacks I learned to protect yourself is this: stand straight or sit straight. Imagine energy comes in your body, let it in mentally through this chakra. Imagine it's going through your arms. Usually the energy travels like this through your arms. This is why Reiki is so effective, because you direct your energy, it travels out of your arms, and you can direct it on someone. And that's when healing happens. So the same thing, you imagine the energy is entering your body, and imagine it's traveling in one arm, concentrating in one palm. You make a mudra like this. So basically, these two fingers are together, these ones in a, like little bunny situation going on. And imagine the energy is shooting from the top of your fingers, from your finger chakras. It comes out, right? That universal energy, that bio energy force, all right? To be a bit more scientific. And imagine it shooting out of your two fingers. And what you do, you draw a Fibonacci sequence in front of you. Fibonacci sequence is a sequence which is, all over in our universe. It's actually the building stone of our universe. It's this kind of figure, right? My ring here is Fibonacci sequence, all right? And think about a Fibonacci sequence being represented in a rose. Think about it, Fibonacci sequence being represented in a galaxy itself, snail, yeah, many, many examples. So it's very, very strong universal sign. It has extremely strong energy about it, protective energy. Energy which governs the forces of the universe. So basically, if you draw, with this universal energy shooting out of you, these two fingers, and imagine you draw a Fibonacci sequence in front of you, you are giving the universe a very strong sign of, this is my space, right? It's a protective signal. And what you do afterwards, I usually, when I do that, I kind of imagine a light bubble around me. So I do that and imagine my aura, my light bubble here is kind of my shield. And the shield is very flexible. So let's say if somebody comes really close to you, the shield will contract and still you would have your energetic space. And that has been proven by some science research. So when you mentally tell yourself you are safe, when you do this energy sign, first of all, on a very scientifically psychological level, you give a signal to your brain, I'm safe. Actually, when we feel safe, when we feel good, we do not get affected by negative comments, even in kind of everyday life, by, stressful situation. Think about it. If you're like super cheerful and somebody, says something to you, you're like, right? Or when you're really sad or worried and somebody says the same thing to you, you would react much differently. It would provoke a certain feeling to react, to feel that it affects you. You're letting that comment or that energy in. So the same thing when you tell your brain, here we go, I'm safe, on a psychological level, you come down. I've tested it so many times. Sometimes you would enter, in London Underground, let's say in a rush hour full of people, and you're coming in and you're like, ooh, all kind of energies here. And, I'll just quickly kind of imagine my shield, and then I just stand there fine. Shield works for negative energy only. Don't worry, all the good emotions, they're very welcome to come, and they usually do. But also, I invite you to think, what kind of energy do you radiate into the world? Do you think people need to be protected of you? Sometimes when you feel angry or frustrated, do that line breath, because you will come into that underground, and people will get affected by that anger, and they also get the charge, and then they have to release it in the world, and the world becomes a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more nervous, etc. But there's one more thing I want to say about this exercise. The moment you're worried about these things, you're not protected enough, because the whole sense of worry, it means the vibration is not strong enough to protect it on its own. But this is the best part. When you feel absolutely fantastic, when you feel so, so, so fantastic that nothing bothers you, nothing worries you, you don't even think about protecting yourself because you feel so great. Actually, because you do, you're vibrating so high, you don't need protection. The whole energy of, joy, happiness, calmness, compassion, love, all those high vibrational energies, they actually in itself are protective shields. And not only that, they actually radiate out of you. Nothing bad can literally penetrate your shield, but you can give those good energies. It makes me a little bit frustrated sometimes when people say, you know what, that person was so negative. They're really sharing bad energy with me and affect me not in a nice way. And I cut them off out of my life. I don't want to see them anymore. It makes me really upset. Actually, when you vibrate highly and when you radiate positive energy, energy of compassion and love, not only you shouldn't cut them off out of life, you should aim to help them. And nowadays, it's so selfish in our world. No, this person is not good for me. This person is this. Well, I have to tell you, if you coming from the sense of compassion and you are talking to any person whatsoever, and you come from the sense of understanding them and helping them, not only you raise your vibration, but you actually raise their vibration. And suddenly that person who was giving you creeps is your best friend again. So I really encourage you to think like that instead of, being very wasteful with your relationships just because somebody on one or two occasions didn't make you feel good. Next, another energy exercises to calm down instantly is this somatic touch. Basically, if you hold yourself like this and just cuddle up and down, you probably feel goosebumps just doing it, right? Do you? Let me know. This is a somatic touch. It is a movement which our body knows from when we're babies, and our moms, they cuddle us, calm us down when we cry or worry, right? The same in your head. But this one in particular has a very strong energetic power to calm your senses down. So when you feel sad, frustrated, anxious, just sit down for a minute doing this. And if you want to make it advanced, if you feel really sad, let's say, even the movement in itself can help. But what else you can do is breathe deeply in, out. And add eyes movement. Left bottom corner, right bottom corner. Left, right. Somatic touch sends signals to your body that you are safe. Eye movement, bottom corner, send signals in your brain to let it know that it's time to enter parasympathetic nervous reset, alpha state of mind when you feel calm. And deep breaths, altogether deep breathing, calms the nervous system down. Do it for a minute or two. And if you're faced with a very sad situation, do it for 5, even 10 minutes, and see how your state shifts. Suddenly, that frustration, that worry, that sadness lifts, and you feel calm and relaxed. This is a very good one. Moving to the next. Sometimes there comes a situation when you feel low, weak, not good enough. If ever happens to you, what I want you to do to stand in a power posture. Power posture psychologically sends signals to our body and it sends signals to our brain that we are powerful. I advise people to do it before a job interview. Can you imagine? You're coming with a sense of power, with a sense of self-worth, strength to a job interview. I bet you will perform better than usual. And power postures are many, you know. We can do the Superman posture, flying. We can do the peaceful warrior posture in yoga, right? We can do goddess squat posture. Very good. And stand like this for a minute. And you can see and sense how your state shifts. Suddenly you feel more powerful. Your shoulders go back, your chest comes forward. You are invincible. Another state shifting exercise. This one is extremely effective. Actually, what it does, it creates brain heart coherent state in our body. What it means that our heart and our brain synchronize in a vibrational frequency. And that sends a very powerful signal to our body and to our mind that we are fine. We are great, actually. And what it does, again, it changes the chemistry of your body. Just a simple exercise. Your chemistry of the body becomes uplifting. It reduces the amount of stress hormone. It creates a little bit more dopamine and serotonin and those happy hormones. And you feel much, much, much better. So what you need to do is stand straight or sit upright. And you breathe in on a count of 4. Breathe out on a count of 4. Through your nose, deeply. In, out. Now imagine you're breathing with your chest, with your heart. In, it opens. Out, it releases love. In, it releases love. Now, doing this kind of breath, lift your head slightly up, 20 degrees up. Naturally, your eyes want to look up to kind of the space between the eyebrows or our third eye chakra. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now put a little smile on your face and think of someone you love or something you're really grateful for. Let's say I want to think about my child. Just visualizing their face, thinking of something cute they've done, or, thinking of the hug they give me in the morning changes the state of my whole body, chemically, physically, emotionally, energetically. Do it for a minute or two. Think of someone you love or something you really appreciate. Think how great it is. Put a smile on your face, look up, and do these breaths. Another protective exercise for those who are a little bit more worried that their energy could be distributed and kind of leaked through your aura. Let's say you've done an energy exercise and you feel great and you're going into the world. And imagine if you're an empath, you are very perceptive of energy and you give a lot of energy. If you want to preserve this energy a little bit more, if it's a health practice you've done or an energetic practice you've done, at the end of the practice, what you can do, you can zip your energy. What it means, imagine like a hoodie when you're putting on, you're zipping it up. So energetically, think of zipping up your energy and throwing away the key. Yeah, do it again. Zip, throw away the key. And that also creates that protection shield, which is quite fantastic. Actually, I've tested it many, many times. And I notice when I finish with my practice, if I do an energy hack like this at the end, I feel that that energy is a little bit more sustainable in my body throughout the day. So definitely remember this one. The next one I want to share with you is hook. You know, when you feel a little bit sluggish, low on energy, when you want just to lay down or read a book or watch a movie, but you need to do something and you need to feel energized for it, or when you just want to uplift your energy, to feel a little bit more energized, to feel a little bit more in a flow with life, what you can do, you can hook your energy. And it actually does what it says. Imagine you have this belly button here, you hook a finger there or two and lift. And the same you do with your third eye chakra. You hook and lift. And you lift your body, look up. You can close your eyes alone. Swap your hands. Hook from your belly button. This is your chi point. In here, we lift it here and we lift it for the energy to enter our brain and give all the lifting signals to our mind. Breathe in deeply, look up. Oh my God, I straight away feel uplifted just from doing that simple, wonderful, really wonderful hug. Maybe I bombard you a lot with information, but I wanted to give you the energetic perspective, but I also wanted to give you the science perspective because I always dig a little bit deeper to understand why actually this energy hacks work. I've really tried to figure it out for myself. I'm one of those with a logical mind. I don't take all information for granted. I definitely do my research. And I want to share all that with you so you understand why they are so helpful in life. And if you think I'm babbling on too much, let me know in your comments. If you think I'm talking fun stuff and you're interested listening to all my explanations of why it works, do let me know too. I really appreciate it. Moving on to the next hack, and I really like this one. I do it with my children. If my child is a little bit frustrated or sad or they are crying, it breaks your heart as a parent, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to take their pain away, which, they have to live through their pain as well. You can't take it away, you can only transform it. And what I do for them to calm them down, especially when they were little, just lie them down, maybe on your knees, and do this kind of movement on their forehead. Do it for yourself when you feel upset. Do it for someone you love, for your partner, for your friend if they feel upset. Just literally swipe this negative emotion. Forehead is the power chakra, and by making this kind of movement, we're almost shifting its state. And you know what? If you do it with your child, you'll be really surprised. They suddenly stop crying. I love this one. It's my secret weapon, all right? Don't tell anybody, but feel free to use it. Okay, let me know how it works for you. Let's move to the next one. And this one is just really such a life-changing energy hack. Imagine if you're arguing with somebody, or imagine if somebody is being a little bit aggressive towards you. Maybe they shout at you, maybe they give you a little bit of a dirty look, or maybe you can feel their frustration with you, but it's never with you, right? It's with themselves, with their situation. So, you know, I never take anything to heart because it's usually all about them. But what you can do, if that happens to you and somebody is just maybe moving in an aggressive way towards you, or maybe trying to say unkind thing to you, instead of getting frustrated and angry with them, what you can do is visualize them in a white light. So literally you visualize this cloud of white light around them. First of all, thinking in that direction gives you an opportunity to breathe and not to react. Second of all, you will be surprised with what happens when you do that. You literally can look at them and visualize them standing in a bright light. Just try it. Humor me. And they stop. I've heard the situation when the lady was attacked in a park, and she literally did that. When the man was moving in a very aggressive way towards her, she got extremely worried, and she literally visualized him in a white light, and he just left. It's that powerful, okay? It just something happens when you look at the person in a different way, when you don't give to the emotion of fear, because usually fear on a scientific level, the sense of fear, the expression of fear on our face, in our body language, it actually stimulates the negative response and negative action, either, aggressive action or verbal action. But the moment you don't look like this, when you visualize them in a white light, scientifically, what it does, your body stops expressing fear. And guess what? It doesn't feed the anger they feel. The reaction of fear feeds that. The reaction of calm and concentration, it stops feeding that energy. And usually they just leave, or they stop shouting, or they walk away, because you're not feeding their anger anymore. Okay? And on an energetic level, it's almost like asking for help. Imagine a bright light in a theater when somebody's performing eliminates them. That's what we do energetically to show this situation needs help right now. And somehow, I think you get that help. So please remember this one and try it. And this one I left to the very last, because this one for me is magic. It's absolute magic. We can cultivate energy in our body. We can accumulate our energy and energy of the, that universal field through our body. Guess for what? For healing. And this little hack, I'll tell you a story. I usually run for fun, and I can run kind of slowly, I can run a little bit faster, and I alternate my speed. I never measure it. I never run for marathons. I never run for timing or for medals. I run for the pure pleasure of running, and I let my body run in a way it wants to. I can skip sometimes, I can run slow, I can run fast if I feel like I really want, to run fast like I was running when I was a child. I let myself do that. So one of those runs, I went really, really far. And inside, nature resort center, and it's so huge. It has almost like this foresty part, and you're in the middle of a forest, literally. And I was running there, and I was far, far away from civilization, so to say. And suddenly I twisted my ankle. I twisted my ankle so badly I couldn't step on it. I couldn't stand on it even lightly. And I was thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to get home? And I was thinking, okay, maybe I call my husband, but I'm thinking, okay, he will come. His car wouldn't go in the middle of a forest. How will he find me? How will I direct him? And all these thoughts were going through my head. And I was thinking, my gosh, really, that's extremely inconvenient. And of course, it was painful too. So I did this hack. And I think because I was so frustrated with the situation, I couldn't do something bigger or I couldn't sit and meditate because it was painful. I just did the simple, very quick hack. And guess what happened? After that, I stood up. I could walk. Yes, it felt still painful, but I could walk. By the time I got home on my own after walking for 1 hour back home, my pain was completely gone. I told my husband I twisted my ankle, and he was like, oh my God, we have to take you to A&E. I'm like, no, it doesn't hurt anymore at all. And yes, coincidence? I don't think so. I've done it with many, many other situations. I do it with my children when they have a headache or something hurts. And I can't say it works absolutely 100% in every situation, but more you do it, more percentage it works. I think it works in the situations where you do it right, you cultivate that energy, and when it absolutely has to work. And I think in some situations, it definitely eases the pain, definitely eases the pain. But sometimes the problem, if it's a deeper problem, I believe you have to deal with the energy body and with the physical body too. But sometimes, like in this situation with my ankle, it can totally surprise you unexpectedly. And I think you need to do it with a light heart, realizing that there is zero expectation, but that would be nice if that happens. From that point of view, not expecting or frustratingly trying to push the result, but actually to do it with a light heart and just say, well, I kind of need help in this moment. That would be nice if that happens. If you do it from that place, it absolutely works. So here is your last for today, but definitely not least, energy hack. Okay, we stand straight. We enter energy, visualize energy coming from the top of your head. Yeah, this point, traveling into your arms. Let it come full speed, full force. You can activate your palm chakras, maybe rub them a little bit, or just press, or kind of do that with your nails. Just basically activate your palms, your hands. Sense the energy coming through. Visualize like a white light beaming out of your palms. You've done that. Now put them closer together and try to feel. You might not feel it straight away. It didn't happen for me straight away that I could feel it, but now I do. So when I do that, it feels like there is a ball. It's has a little bit of resistance if I try to push my hands in. You breathe in. And when you breathe out, you make this light bigger and that ball of energy bigger. You intend. Breathe in and breathe out. Push that energy, become bigger. When you do it for a few times, actually you can start feeling that resistance becoming stronger and your palms separate more. Like literally that invisible ball gets bigger. And now imagine all that energy in that round ball healing, universal bioenergy. And let's say you have a painful shoulder. You take this energy and just place it into your shoulder and hold. And hold for a little bit more. Visualize how that light travels to the pain point and the pain is gone. It's gone. That's it. That's it, guys. Try it. Practice it with energy. As I said before, it does take practice to feel it. It does take visualization to kind of see it in your mind's eye. But even if you don't see or feel it, it doesn't mean it's not there. It is there. It's the intention. I really believe strongly that if we concentrate our attention on something, that happens. Concentrating your attention of thinking about energy, concentrating your attention on that, let's say, energy ball makes it happen. That our mind is that powerful. I think we are still in the beginning processes of finding out how the whole energy works scientifically, but it is there. Science calls our energy bioenergy, how the heart starts beating in a child when, it doesn't beat when you conceive a baby, but then suddenly the heart starts beating like something enters that body, that bioenergy starts functioning, makes the heart pump. So I invite you to open your mind and give it a shot. You might be surprised by what you can find. And you can choose to live your life skeptically, thinking that magic is not there. Although I don't think it's entirely magic, it's science which we don't know yet fully. Or you can choose to live your life with your mind wide open. Thank you for watching this far. I really appreciate it. Let me know in your comments below if you would like me to do more videos like this. Because this channel is not mainly talking videos, it's mostly practice. But if you want me to explain things a little bit more in detail, let me know and I will. Bye.